One of the things when it comes to this profession and in any parts of it is feedback, and you have to be receptive to that feedback. Not only is that feedback coming in and saying that you're not being very clear, you're mushing your words as you're going through this. I mean, and by the sound of it, the acting is fine. It's just the reading part of it. Not only are they pointing that out to you and giving you a constructive criticism, they are volunteering their time to say, hey, let's work on this together. And considering if this person's done directing, coaching, and whatever, those free offers don't come by very often. So
100%.
Yeah, I would say definitely go for it. Don't see it as like I'm doing a bad job. It's like Eldurrino said, you definitely could be doing so. I mean, this person is saying you're doing great, but I know you can do better. And if they're taking a personal interest, dude, respond.
Hello, and welcome back to Cold Read the Podcast. Today, I'd like to talk to you all about something I'm not sure a lot of people out there will bring up very often. The gut instinct. I'm not sure if that's the official name for it, but hopefully you'll know what I'm talking about. It's that feeling in the pit of your stomach that one choice is better than the other. In your everyday adult life, you are faced with many, many choices. Most of these become inherent and you no longer need to think about them, i.e. what route you're going to be taking to work or how do you do your job, etc., etc. But you will still come across those things that may cause your brain to have an unexpected reboot. And this, my friends, is where the gut instinct comes into play. Whenever you are trying or learning something new, most people out there are going to say that it makes them feel a bit nervous or cautious. For the adults in the audience, think about the tests that you took as a child or a teenager and how you really had to study hard to get a good grade. Yet when it came down to taking said test, the answers to certain questions just wouldn't come. And of course you couldn't just sit there all day trying to figure out the answer, so you had to choose something, and so you just went with whatever was the most correct sounding answer. That feeling right there is what I'm referring to. Paying attention to that feeling is actually a bit more important than you may realize, because as you try to wander through life, you're going to have that feeling more and more. And by recognizing it, you can adapt it and make it a tool. Let's think about this in regards to voice acting and the process of making a project come to life. You're going to come across auditions that will be vague, intentionally or not, and you, as the performer, need to decide what is the best way to perform it. This goes back to an intro I made a while back about reading between the lines, but really think about the words and the situation they might be used in. When you listen back to your takes, you're going to need to choose which few you're going to submit. And that at times may seem a little daunting, but here's what I would like to recommend to you. Listen to all of your takes one time through, and then delete any ones that have flubs or just weird moments in there, stuff that makes it generally unusable. On your second listen through, again going from start to finish, think about the tone of your voice and compare them against each other. If you're confident in your voice acting ability, you are going to hear in those few takes that you have left which is going to be the right ones. If you do need a third go around, feel free to utilize it, but the point of doing this is to go with your gut and be confident in the choices you're making. Sitting there dwelling on the minor details of things and trying to make things perfect is very counterproductive. It makes far more sense to try and try again, or to try and fail and get back up. There are going to be times in which you may not make the right choice, and that's entirely fine. That is where reflection comes into play. We'll talk about that another time. I wanted to talk to you all about this in particular because I started noticing these types of moments around me all week. I've really been pushing myself to improve my skills as a mixing engineer, and when I'm doing this, I have to make a lot of choices when it comes to balancing audio and making it the most pleasing version to the listener. Well, there really is no clear-cut manual on how to do that. So you have to make a lot of choices using your gut feeling. And I know that as I continue to learn, I'm not going to get everything right. I have a lot that I can improve, and maybe you do too. So as you continue on with your day or night, really think about this feeling, and in your next projects, go with your gut. Be confident, make informed decisions, and overall, have fun. All right, time for the show with your hosts, Zamoody, Booka, and future me. Take it away, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, and those of you watching, listening, or here live, welcome to Cold Read the Podcast, a podcast for everything voice acting related. If you have any questions,
Nice.
Thank you. If you have any questions or any topics that you want us to discuss, you can email us at coldreadthepodcast@gmail.com, or you can join our Discord. The link is going to be in the description anywhere that you go, except here live. I haven't been able to figure that out yet here on YouTube, but hey, here we go. If you do have an opportunity, if you're listening to us there and you want to catch us live, we're usually around noon Pacific, 3 p.m. East Coast, 8 p.m. for tea and crumpets. I hope everything goes well on that side of the world. Until that point, we do like to say, if you have any audio, anything you want us to listen to, we want to check out what you're up to. So if you have if you have an accent, if you have like anything for a demo or even like a part that you want to do, submit that audio. We'll listen to it, and we'll give constructive feedback. Just tune in on the particular time that you do it, and then we'll go from there. Love the fade out. Thank you, Eldurrino. So let's check in with everybody and see how we're doing. I'm still recovering from our last interview, Veriton. That energy lasted me 3 extra days, and whew.
Let me just real quick say about that. I have to listen to that a lot because she's a host on another podcast, and I edit the audio for it. So. Yep, it's a lot to process. Yes. So thanks, Farah. You're awesome. But
absolutely.
Yep.
It's just I'm still it was like having a fresh cup of coffee every other sentence. I'm like, oh my God.
I think of that meme of that kid in the red shirt where he's being hit in the face by the fan, and he's like.
Okay.
I know. You have to come watch the video to know what the hell I just did there, but yeah, it's a meme.
Okay. Let's check in with everybody and see how we're doing. So it's been a week since our last show. Booka, how are you? I know you're busy. Let me go ahead and try to interrupt. How are you doing?
Oh, you're on mute.
You're mute.
Oh no.
Yes.
There you go. Hey, hi,
yes.
Hi. How are you?
Hi.
I'm doing fantastic. I got no complaints. I have the blur on in the background for those of you watching because my desk is still, or my office is still a disaster. But eventually everything will be organized and decorated and stuff. We're getting there slowly.
Yes.
But it's a whole process to move back into your own house.
That's very true.
But I'm sure you're super comfortable now that you're back.
It's nice to be back home. I missed my house.
Oh, good.
So no complaints there. I'm happy to be home despite the chaos.
Cool.
Awesome.
We'll check back with we'll check back with you here once you're all set. But we'll look at Eldurrino right now. Eldurrino, how about you? How has your week been?
It was very busy and productive, which I'm happy to report. Like I said last week, not really focused on voice acting currently. I was juggling too many balls for the last 6 months or so, and not super happy that I have wasted a lot of opportunities in the music production side. So I've decided that is just my one and only path for the time being. Yeah. Just because I would really like to quit my day job. And I would really like to kind of get more into the music production business because I love it. It makes me feel really good. And it's something that I obsess over. I was up till 2 a.m. because I was like, I want to mix a new song. Let's grab this one and see what happens. And 2 a.m. rolls around. I was like, oh, should probably go to bed. So, yeah, that's been going very well, though. I have been, the mixes that I have been working on, I am now sending those off to other people for critique so they can give me feedback on what I can improve. Because basically, I get it to a point where I think, I don't know how to make this better. Or this is the best that I can make this at my current skill level. So, getting that feedback, I think, is going to be super beneficial, and I am excited to see where that goes. Black Friday happened. That was
okay.
A week and a half ago now, but Black Friday is now like the entire month of November, so it's not like it fucking matters. And into December. I spent a lot of money on plugins. Yes, I'm that guy now. I fucking spend my whole paycheck on goddamn digital products. It's self-investment, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I'm that person. What else? I have not been playing a whole lot of games recently. Although I am happy to report that Payday 3 finally got a much-needed update. Thank the Lord. Yes. Patched a lot of stuff that was incredibly broken, some of which I'm kind of happy about, mostly happy about. Some things I was just like, oh man, I'm gonna miss, being able to level up like crazy at the end of one single heist because of an exploit. But no, overall, pretty good. Yeah, I haven't played a whole lot, maybe like 3 to 4 hours. So yeah, pretty exciting. Cool. Yeah, I don't think anything else has happened this week. Oh, and I have to mention this because my fiance is awesome and I love her to death. My Meg has passed her licensing for social work.
Yay!
Which, if you don't know, is a very hard test, and it's like $200 and something just to take the fucking thing. So, yeah, if you're on like Twitter or whatever, I think it's I don't even remember her Twitter handle. Jesus Christ.
We'll put it in the description
We'll put it in the description, yes. But go and say congratulations and such. Anyways, enough about me. Zamoody, how's your week?
Thank you. Hey, so we're coming up on Tech Week for the review / play that we've got. So this week has been like learning lines, and I need to finish. Last night I was doing an Indiana Jones travel transition, which will fit in the show, and it was, it was a lot of fun to put that thing together. But my God, there's a lot of pieces that go to it, and yeah. So I'll show you what it looks like, Dorino, because I see you've got the confused face on there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is.
You don't know what the Indiana Jones travel transition is? So it's like a map of the world, and it's like a red line that kind of like goes very slowly.
Oh,
and you got like the planes in the background and the noises and the music, and it's all yeah. So there's a gag in there that's about a 1 minute transition. And what?
Did that originate from Indiana Jones? I feel like that was in movies prior to.
It's been in every single Indiana Jones, and the joke is pointing at Indiana Jones.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so that's what, and I mean, right now I'm working on the credits. That's the last real piece, because starting next week, it's like Monday through Sunday, really. It's just going to be rehearsal every night, tech rehearsal, dress rehearsal, and then performances. I do have the QR code around. I've actually made 2 graphics for the QR codes. I'll be passing that around if anybody wants to give us an opportunity and help us out. And then after this, I got to get in that booth and I got to record the intro to the show, which I don't have to do live every single time. And yeah, that's about the extent of it. You know what? I'm super, super excited for this show to be over. So I can get, because I've calculated I give about 15 hours a week to the show.
Oh, sure.
So it's a part-time job, and you know what? I've been doing it since July, and this is one of the reasons why a lot of the stuff, between health reasons and everything else, that my time has just disappeared, is because here I am doing this crap. But Looking forward to getting my free time back.
Yeah, but once you get your free time back, you're gonna be like, God, I wish I had something to do.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The show still needs to be closed, which means that meetings have to happen and blah 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 blah. But we'll get there.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to. And by the way, how the hell is it December? Where the hell did the year go?
I know.
What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
It was like yesterday we were dressed up for Halloween, and now Thanksgiving has gone through. What the hell?
I'm going to blame corporate America on that. And here's my reasoning.
Okay.
For those that do not live in the United States, they have been trying to expand Christmas Day into like an entire season. It's basically an entire quarter of the year. So, I have been hearing Christmas music in stores probably since the middle of October. And I fear that as time goes on, probably within like the next 3 to 4 years, it's just gonna be half the year. Half the year is Christmas, and then the other half is who the fuck knows. Like it's ridiculous. And by doing that, you're kind of like, tricking people into like, I don't know, just completely ignoring the concept of time. So it's like, oh, it's August. It's time to start prepping for Christmas. We don't need August, September, October, November. We don't need Thanksgiving. We don't need Halloween. We don't need President's Day. Like, I know that's not the right holiday. Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Veterans Day. Son of a bitch. Fucking President's Day. Jesus Christ. Anyways, yeah. So corporate America, fuck you.
All right. Well, capitalism goes to hell. Here we go.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Booka, I don't know how you're doing over there.
I just need 3 more minutes.
Gotcha.
So, exporting the video.
No problem. So I'm gonna fill time here. I looked at Reddit, and I looked at our wonderful voice acting subreddit, and I found this. This is a very interesting topic. This is posted by President Librarian 668. The title is, "Does this mean I'm doing a very poor job?" Here's the content. One of my cast members in a radio play production we're in also has experience in directing actors and professional training in acting and performing, and he sent me this email today. Quote, "I would like to help you with your reading/character performance. You're doing well, but I just felt you might want to help with some slowing down the reading a bit and speaking more clearly. I hope you're not offended, but with my offer, I just wanted you to be the very best you can be." End quote. "I'm open to professional guidance and do plan to get back to her, but does this imply that I'm doing a bad job?"
I mean, I wouldn't say so. Like, especially when you're learning, it's you're not going to be perfect right off the bat. That's just, unless you are some type of prodigy, which obviously is that the word prodigy is there for a reason. You're probably not going to be 100% correct all the time, and there's nothing wrong with that, really. So chances are, what is most likely happening is you might be like a little nervous going into certain reads, and as you are reading, your diction is not as clear as it could be. And obviously in voice acting, pretty important to be clear and concise and understandable. So I would not take this as a negative. I would take this as a positive. There's somebody out there that says, hey, you are doing really well, but I know you can do even better than that. Yep. I want to help you. So yeah, I wouldn't say that signifies anything about a poor performance or anything negative like that. I think it is someone wants to help you be better. Take that opportunity, please.
Absolutely. One of the things when it comes to this profession and in any parts of it is feedback, and you have to be receptive to that feedback. Not only is that feedback coming in and saying that you're not being very clear, you're mushing your words as you're going through this. I mean, and by the sound of it, the acting is fine. It's just the reading part of it. Not only are they pointing that out to you and giving you a constructive criticism, they are volunteering their time to say, hey, let's work on this together. And considering if this person's done directing, coaching, and whatever, those free offers don't come by very often. So
100%. Yep.
yeah, I would say definitely go for it. Don't see it as like I'm doing a bad job. It's like Eldurrino said, you definitely could be doing so. I mean, this person is saying you're doing great, but I know you can do better. And if they're taking a personal interest, dude, respond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with somebody saying, I think you could do better, because that means that they see potential in you. If you were actually doing a poor job and they did not think that there was any hope to save whatever they have there, they would just kick you to the wayside and say, see you next time, or see you never.
Right.
So, no, don't take it as a negative thing. I definitely would not.
Nope. Very cool. Very cool. I like that answer. Here we go. Oh, do we want to dive into Fiverr? Somebody's asking for advice for Fiverr. I'm not sure this is out of line for asking here or not. Would anybody be willing to check out my Fiverr page and help me set up gigs? It's not just setting up gigs. Haven't had anything come through Fiverr at all. So I know. Here's the thing for Fiverr, and as somebody who's actually put stuff up there, I'm not with them anymore. Keep in mind that you are a needle in the haystack, especially at level 0, which I think is where you start. You have nothing to separate you from everybody. You have to be super creative. And then really it's luck. And then finally, when you do get your first gig, it takes kind of a turn, because you start seeing more responses to what you're putting up. But you just kind of have to wait till the algorithm like strikes lightning in order to do it. So if you're going to go down that road, and understand that I'm definitely not, I think Fiverr, unfortunately, is detrimental because it is literally lowest of the low pay, and it kind of, what's the word? It just devalues voice acting in general.
Yes. Yep. And I can tell you right now, without even having known your name or looked at your profile, you are making a grave mistake. And I'm sorry to be the one to have to say this, but as Zamoody said, you are doing nothing but devaluing yourself and your time. In my opinion, and I'm sure others will repeat this, you need to set a price point for yourself, and do not go any lower than that. There's a topic I want to talk about sometime in the future that I was thinking about, that I heard from like a mixing engineer about free versus paid work. But again, I'll get to that at another time. But I do not agree with the notion of, in a sense, like reverse auctioning yourself, where, I'll do this for $100. Well, actually, I'll do it for 80. I'll do it for 60. I'll do it for free. Like, yeah. Don't be that person. If you have a skill and you know you're good at it and you know that you can make money off of it, do not settle for less, please. Now, if it comes down the line where you're working with a client for an extended period of time, and they say, "Hey, man, I'm really sorry, but I need a huge favor. If you could do this right now, I promise, I'll pay you later on down the road." If that client is, in a good standing with you, yeah, of course. Then in that case, do it for less, do it for free, whatever the case may be, because obviously the repertoire has been built there. Yeah, but starting out, especially with like Fiverr, please don't. Like, I know, obviously I have my own thoughts about Fiverr and whatnot. So take my opinion with a grain of salt, but please remove yourself from that site.
And it's funny because if you think about it, we've had people on here that do really well on Fiverr and everything else because, volume and everything. Honestly, they are the 0.01% probably of who puts stuff up there. Now, if you'll see the level 2, level 3 people, those people are charging pretty good amounts and they've got pretty good amount of jobs. But if you're still low and you're doing a lot of work, again, I think you're one of the lucky ones. And I think you're lucky that the algorithm has chosen you and you can move forward.
I mean, I suppose I don't necessarily agree though with, if you are going to list yourself for services on a site like that, I don't think you should necessarily be offering free work per se. Like,
no, I don't think you can.
Yeah. Like, oh no, I'm gonna leave that in there. I'm not editing that out.
Damn it!
Like, it's hard for me to say because I know people have conflicting opinions on this, but in my opinion, if you're doing something for free,
our opinion, you're right.
Yes, 100% opinion of mine.
Yes.
If you're doing something for free, that means that you do not feel confident in your own abilities to make money off of it. And if you are confident, then you should be charging money for it. Like, if you want to make this into a job, you have to get paid for it. Like, simply put, you can't just say, I have a job doing this, but it makes me no income. Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. I lost my train of thought because of the
bottle. I'm sorry.
The bottle, yeah. So
my water bottle fell over as usual, and the damn thing's made out of metal, so it falls and it's like a bong goes off everywhere. But it keeps stuff cold. I mean, it's but no, I mean, and again, I understand what you're saying, and you know what? If you're starting out and you go into CCC, you're not going to get paid for stuff, so that's good to get your foot in the door, get accustomed, because there's a certain level of comfortability, that you need to achieve in order to be able to project confidence. Again, I'm not saying don't do free work. There is a time and a place for it. If it's a original project, and you're given an opportunity to do it, that's something that can go on your resume. Just make sure you do a really good job. Don't put your comic dubs or anything like that. That's good practice for other stuff, but that's not something that's going to help you move forward.
Correct.
Okay. How we doing up there, Booka?
We 2 seconds to ready it. The file was too big, so I couldn't send it to you. So I'm condensing it now.
Oh, yay. Yeah.
Let's vamp a little bit more.
Sure. Let's see what else we got. It was an interesting little quick Fiverr topic. Ooh. Let's see how big this one is real quick. Okay, 3 days ago by DK Voices. Oh, wow. I've only been in the union for 2 months. It's getting towards the end of the year. Is this the norm? The topic is anyone else struggling to find work. I'm getting auditions, just not a lot. Wondering how everyone is doing out there. Isn't there a strike?
No.
Oh, no.
I mean, there was, but it's been called off so that they could negotiate. They're not like, I forget if the vote has happened currently, but I mean, it fairly recent, like right before Thanksgiving, I want to say, is when they called off the strike. So if you were talking about SAG-AFTRA, then yeah, I mean, there hasn't really been a whole lot of work because the union's been striking for like 3 months. So, I mean, obviously I'm not part of any union currently, I can't really say, but I imagine that this is not the norm. Like, I think for union actors, especially voice actors, if you're doing more commercial VO than like character or video game or something like that, this is probably the time in which you make the most amount of money because, again, corporate America, if you live in the U.S. anyways, they're wanting more and more VO for more commercials, more advertising. So yeah, this is probably around the time that you're supposed to be making a good chunk of the money that you would for the year. But
well,
again,
and that's an interesting thing because one of the people that replied, his name is Beige Listed. They're calling it the seasonal hiatus that starts in October. Because okay, so you're thinking like Christmas commercials. Most of those are probably done September, October, maybe.
They'd even be earlier, I think, maybe like July, August. So yeah, that would make sense, and definitely not something I thought of. I was kind of just that was just
that's
me.
Your first instinct.
And exactly.
We felt time, so it's okay.
That's right. You can be confidently incorrect and be on a podcast.
Yes.
So, but. Yeah, I don't know. There might be a seasonal hiatus where work kind of does slow down for the holidays. But again, I mean, I can't really say because I'm not into
there.
commercial VO and yeah.
But you know what? Yeah, I mean, looking at it even from like not corporate America, because I'm not in corporate. I'm in basically government work. I could see that. Because after October, you've got November. There's 3 holidays in November, and things fly super fast. Well, no, it's 2 holidays, but really Thursday, and most people take Friday off. So most companies probably wouldn't work during that time. And then Christmas, it's all about, people taking vacation and family. So I could definitely see stuff just completely like grinding to a halt during this time.
That's true.
Yeah. Fascinating.
How are we looking, Booka?
I'm ready.
All right.
Are you going to share your screen, or you just send it over, or how do we get it?
No, I was going to send it to you because if I share my screen, I'm going to throw off your entire layout. So I figured I would save us that trouble. That's what was taking me so long. I'm like, hurry up and export. No, the fire was too big. I'm not paying for nitro.
Well, okay. We'll figure that out for the future.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's all right. I'm sending the audio your way right now.
Excellent.
But anyways, for context, hi all. I know I've been quiet. There's a reason for that. So last month.
Oh, Booka, you're here?
I know, right?
It's like we're doing a podcast or something.
Yeah, it's almost like I'm a part of a podcast. When did that happen?
Oh,
what year is it?
Dang it! Eldurrino, just for your note, that was at 37 minutes in the recording. You've got your little bumper now.
Roger.
Yeah.
Or it can still decide. Oh, wrong file. Why isn't it working? Like, what is happening? It's like file too big. Don't lie to me.
How about I give you a global link that you can just drop it into?
I was gonna say I can drop it into Google Drive or something.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to kill your whole layout sharing the video, and also we don't.
Yeah, that's fine.
I can fix it in post.
I'm sorry. But anyways, some filler to explain what the heck I'm doing over here. So what happened was last month was Sin City Anime, where your friendly neighborhood Arizona Voice Acting Guild hosted panels all weekend long. It was great. I love working conventions because they give me the warm and fuzzies. We get to see so many people, and then we get so many whimsical stories to share. Most recently, or one of the highlights, although Jack, if you remember them from podcast pasts, Jack embarrassed himself a little bit in a very endearing way.
Was that the one that was talking about going in for the hentai stuff? No, that might have been a different person. That was Mad Hatter.
No,
that was Xander, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It might have been Xander. But Jackson. So during our competitions, I requested access to that folder.
Yep.
So during our process for the competition, Jack handles our auditions.
Mm-hmm.
So where we were like in this tiny little hallway next to the main events area. And for people to come and do auditions for us. You know, we're all wedged in this, again, wedged in a little hallway, but we're directly across from the prep room for all of the talent. And then what happens is that someone passes by and they see our stuff. They're all excited. They've been watching us all weekend long, like stopping and staring and all that stuff. Cool, great, awesome. At one point, Guy passes by and they say something to the effect of, "I'm going to audition for this and I'm going to lose on purpose." And Jack was like, "I bet you won't. Get over here. My booth is wide open. Get over here and audition right now." Like being super hype and pumped up and everything. And then one of our lovely friends, Cade, is like, Jack, trying to get his attention to make him stop doing what he's doing.
Oh no.
And then Cade comes to Jack, "Do you know who that was?" "What do you mean who that was?" I wish I remembered the name of the actor, but it was a voice actor that Jack has been following their entire career for the past decade.
No.
Because they're both the same age and they've been in the industry for about just as long. There's someone who's been on the internet for a long periodical time. I'm sure I'll find their name at some point. But when Jack realized who he was yelling at, he almost he very much almost perished, just hid under down under the table and was just like, "I can't show my face ever again. I'm going to die. This is it. This is the end of me." And just absolutely lost it.
Just
it was
generates a black hole of cringe that just starts right in the middle of the chest and just slowly sucks somebody inside.
Oh, it was insanely. It was.
Oh no.
It felt so bad, but it was so sweet.
Yeah.
Jack did end up tracking them down at some point. And had no issue. They did not care. They were just like, "No, that was so nice," and they're absolute hoot too, because when Jack came up to them, because they were sitting at the subway in the middle of the casino, and Jack comes up, "Hey, I'm so sorry to bother you. Could I talk to you for just a minute?" And they look at him dead ass and goes, "No." I'm just kidding. No. Hi, I'm so happy for you to come talk to me. Come here.
Oh my God.
I was like, "Oh, that was not the move." Poor Jack.
I think people would appreciate that kind of response though, because
no,
you're being real. You're not putting on an act or a persona just because certain person has X level of familiarity or fame or whatnot.
Yeah,
100%. It was absolutely adorable and endearing, and in hindsight is beautiful. But in the moment, Jack felt like he was going to perish. But it was great. We ended up talking with them all throughout the weekend. I was definitely excited about we were in this tiny little cramped hallway, but at the same time where we were was ideal for just people to see us, get to know us, people that are in the industry and not just being able to see who we are and what we do. And word's getting around at this point, because even when we after the event, we did after the convention, we did an event at a local library, and we had folks coming up to us and being like, "I saw you guys at Sin City Anime. I'm gonna see you guys at Level Up Expo. We're gonna audition." Yay!
Nice.
It was really sweet. And so I have all the happy, warm and fuzzy feelings over what happened for the weekend. But long tangent aside, events what was really great about this convention is that we got to do a panel that we don't get to do very often, which is called Anime Live. And we act out an entire episode of an anime, whether it's an OVA or an in-season episode. Complete, we do it all in one take with the vocals in the background. It's kind of like a whole stage presentation with the video of the anime right behind us.
Oh my.
It's in Japan, it's referred to as a seiyuu concert. And it's usually used for marketing. Studios that produce an anime will have concerts where all of their voice actors will be on stage, and they'll either act out an integral scene from the show. They'll show off an OVA that hasn't been seen before. It could be canon, it could not be canon, or they'll take a scene that everyone knows and completely change the script. And they will act it out on stage with the sound effects behind them, big video screen. They'll die on stage, they'll fight on stage, do all kinds of kooky fun things. So we did that here. And it was Awesome. We got to do our big ticket thing. It was also Anime Live After Dark. That was important. Because we ended up doing an episode of Kill la Kill, which, if you're unfamiliar, it's magical girls and titties, basically.
Wait. What's the name of that show?
So that is not what I shared with you just now.
Okay. Gotcha.
But in addition to the whole episode of Kill la Kill, we did a couple of really we did a scene from One Piece that, if you've seen it, you know exactly what it is. And it's called the I Want to Live scene. It will make, even if you have no context, you will be sobbing by the end of that scene. It's very heartwarming. And then the one that I just shared with you is from Chainsaw Man. And it is absolutely hilarious and fun. Zamoody, I will say, for legal reasons, play the audio, don't show the video.
Gotcha.
So what we did for this particular scene is, all of the script stayed exactly the same, but one of our lovely guild members completely changed the background sound, the background music, the background sound effects, all of it, to where our two characters have competing WWE themes, and then all of these sound effects are that Looney Tunes cartoon style. It's beautiful. I wish I remembered the name. There's an actual name for that type of sound effects, but I can't remember now.
Okay, give me a second. Let me make sure that sound is coming through, because I didn't hear it the first time around. No. Okay, let me try a different one. Yeah, let me try something else. Keep going.
Yep, but it was absolutely great. We opened with that, and so many folks would just absolutely lost their minds, because, again, this is a scene that, if you've seen Chainsaw Man, even if you haven't, you might have seen it online. Everyone knows what it is. So they were excited about the scene.
Okay,
you heard it?
I heard it. I heard the start of it, and that was enough for me to go, oh my gosh. Okay, so my recording is going to be weird, Eldurrino, at that point. Let me try to share again. Sorry, continue.
But yeah, consider this an audio review. There's
yes.
So I will warn you ahead of time, the vocals are crap, because, again, this was recorded live. But hopefully you'll be able to hear and appreciate our voice actors. Xander is playing Aki, the one with the ponytail. And then Heidi is playing Denji, who is I don't know if you call him a protagonist. He's the main character of the show.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. Everybody see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Do you hear it? I'm going to play like a second of it.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to pause and start over. That's what I heard before. I just realized you may not. So you're going to have to grab this video and edit it in. So it's just 2, 3, 2, 1, and play.
Said you wasted kindness on me, but you weren't, because I fight a god. It's nuts. Okay, so I had some udon for breakfast today. I also had a sausage. Another first for me was being treated like a freaking human being. I'm almost afraid I'm gonna wake up from this dream. Someone even paid for my meal. So what if I didn't think it through when I agreed to this gig? I would die to keep this life. Understand me? Well, maybe I'm not okay with dying. It's not just my life anymore. Yeah, you aren't. See, a woman like Makima is too good for a thug like you. Huh? What are you saying that for, huh? But you're just saying that because you want it for yourself, huh? No! Poor kid. Just went for the balls. Nothing else. Oh, balls. Damn it. Testicle devil went totally apeshit on his nutsack, man. No, that's a lie. You made that entire thing up.
Nice.
Wow, what a roller coaster that was.
Oh dear
Yeah.
God! I just started again. Okay, cool. Wow. Okay. And considering you guys, so you did the whole episode live?
Yeah, so that was so for the different things we did, that scene is actually 3.5 minutes long. I gave you the tail end.
Gotcha. Yes.
So Heidi and Xander, they performed that whole scene in one take with no script.
God.
Because they're awesome like that and they know that scene up, down, and sideways. So it was awesome. Everyone loved it because while this is happening, they're pantomiming everything in the script. So Xander is face down on the ground and Heidi is imitating kicking Xander in the crotch the whole time. And it's just so dramatic. It was beautiful. And then you could hear the audience in the background having just a blast. I laugh every time I hear kick him again. It was very silly. That's what we opened the show with.
Okay.
After that, so that was when, I mean, we had a bunch of gags even before we got to that point. And from there, we did the first half of Kill la Kill episode 3, where I played our antagonist Satsuki. That was so much fun. We cut at the middle of the episode, basically where the commercial break normally happens, and then we did a scene. We did an episode of Big Top Burger. It's a web series. If you haven't seen it, you absolutely should. It's unhinged and beautiful. And it actually has a lot of backstory and lore. You just have to go digging for it. It's great. And then we did the Ennie's Lobby, I Want to Live scene from One Piece. There, people are actually crying in the audience. There were quite a few people as soon as they saw the opening, the opening frame. They go, "Oh no!" Like it's that much of an integral moment in the series that literally the first frame. Oh no. It was beautiful. And then we ended it with the latter half of Kill la Kill. And some of the highlights from that part of the show was one of our folks, name is JD. Their voice is so dynamic. They have, they have a mid-range voice when they're speaking normally, mid to low range, very happy, very peppy, but they can go into a baritone that is deep and rumbling. And so at one point he was voicing Zoro in the One Piece scene, and his voice dropped all the way down, and to say, "Oh, so that's how it is," and I can't even just imagine that. But the one of Christian said it best, one of our other folks, he goes, "The pH balance went up immediately in the room." There was a section where there was a bunch of female presenting folks. As soon as JD's voice dropped and he said that, they all go immediately. I'm like, well, JD has some fans in the audience now.
Oh wow.
It was a great time. At one point, we threw glow sticks out into the crowd and was just red glow sticks if you were Team Ryuko, blue glow sticks if you were Team Satsuki, and they waved them around like idiots during the fight scene of being who they're repping during the big battle scene. And It was very fun, interactive, great time. We're most likely going to do an anime live at Level Up Expo, probably not after dark, but we are looking to do this again in April. So very pumped for that.
Ooh, wow. So, I mean, you've got to, because you had a lot of prep before you had to go into all of this too.
Yeah. What made it stressful a little bit is that normally if we're going to do an anime live, we give ourselves 3 months to prepare. We gave ourselves 6 weeks. We got an entire hour and a half of programming done and dusted, within 6 weeks. Yeah. I don't even know if we had quite that long. A lot of it took, basically, we all had a lot of studying on our own. We would come together at least once a week to practice, practice in real times. And we're excited to have a lot more time to prep for Level Up. So we can do a lot more, a lot more practice towards our stage presence. because one of the things that's really hard to do is reading from a script and also trying to be animated on stage and add to the and not just like stand there like this and read
Right.
off the script, because
Right.
like your voice
Right.
acting could be phenomenal while you're doing this, but it's not engaging for the audience. So we
Right.
try to do our best to like, make ourselves part of the presentation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How did like all the auditioning and everything else go? How many? Do you know how many
Oh, yeah.
people you had auditioning for this?
Yep. So I have the exact numbers actually. For comparison of scale, at Level Up Expo, we have on average about 300 auditions
Oh my god.
in order to fill about
Wow.
50 slots.
Wow.
In this case, and then at Isekai Anime Con, we only had about 60 auditions, but we filled all 50 slots. They just had an immense amount of talent out in Salt Lake. Like
Mhm.
they are hungry for this kind of stuff, and they're all like phenomenal. But at Sin City, I don't even think we auditioned 35 people.
Oh wow.
So we only filled about half the roster we normally do. But for us, we kind of consider that a blessing in disguise. It's got us thinking about changing our format for the competitions going forward, which is basically to cut our show in half. Because
sure.
granted, having 21 scenes, 50 some odd people, it's like a 4 or 5 hour show.
Yeah.
So you've got to be committed. So we're looking at cutting our show in half and basically taking a less is more approach. But all that said, we had some really awesome folks come in. Some we know already that have come from previous competitions.
Mhm.
And that is like, I love that we get to pull in new talent every year, but I have a special place in my heart for seeing returning competitors, because you get to see how much they've improved and changed
Ah.
from year to year.
Mhm.
We have one of our folks, they go by Jim Bradley. They have now become a meme among our guild. So whenever we see him, we don't just say hi Jim Bradley, it's Jim Bradley, everybody. And it was so infectious that after the competition, people kept doing it to him as they passed by him in the exhibitors hall and everywhere else. It was beautiful. But Jim
Nice.
is a voice actor. I don't know if you would call it, I don't know if he calls himself a professional just yet, but he's absolutely in the scene. But he also has recently made a board game. So they've been
Really?
and what's awesome is that they had their own booth in the exhibitor hall or the artist alley, promoting their board game and stuff. But he still made time to come and audition, to practice his scene, to perform his scene, while still being fully committed to working the con himself, which was fantastic.
Wow.
And we got to see him really play to his strengths this year. In previous years, we've cast him as superheroes and stuff because he has like this big booming voice. And what we've learned over time is that he is an amazing villain. Like, yeah, he can do sort of like the All Might kind of, Power Ranger sort of vocals, but his element is sinister villains. Like, he does a phenomenal job. So this year we cast him as Dracula in Castlevania.
Ooh.
And he did such a great job. To the point where I'm just like, dang, I can't wait to challenge him even more next year. Like we're gearing up to start opening up our master's division, because normally what we do is there's beginners, novice, advanced. Beginners are walk-on roles. They're usually one line. We record ADR style on the fly. Novice and advanced division folks perform as a team. They do their scene in one take. We record it, edit it, and then play it back. Master's division does similarly to what we do at Anime Live, which is they perform their scene all in one take with the background sound effect, with the background music and sound effects live in tandem with them. So it becomes a whole stage performance. And ideally they're off book, because that scene is anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes long.
Oh my.
So the master's division is no joke. So a 20-minute long scene, you're usually going to have like 5 or more people in it. Most of the time master's divisions are duo scenes, and that's where you hit sort of the 4 to 8 minute mark. So we've got a lot of consistent folks coming to
Yeah.
our competitions that have the talent that we're so pumped to be able to open up a master's division. So that's our prep for the next 3 or 4 months leading up to level up, is to see if we can garner enough folks to have an entirely separate panel where we do master's division.
Wow. That's crazy.
So pumped.
I mean,
It's very cool.
Yeah, I mean, talk about dedicating your time to something. My goodness. So
Folks who do master's division, we give them like at least 2 months to prepare. We'll give them their scene well before the competition date.
Oh, okay.
And then they get to practice among themselves, do what they need to do, and then on the Friday of on day one of the con, they come to us and we out process them, make sure they're ready, give them any tips as far as performance goes, and then on competition day they do their thing.
Wow. I can't. I mean, I was like, so you're asking them to do this in like 3 or 4 days? I was like, oh my god, no. But
Yeah, well, beginners, novice, and advanced division folks, they do get asked same day. Friday and Saturday is auditions. They have from then to the competition to prepare, and that gives them at most 24 hours.
But I mean, you're not sitting there doing it live while the stuff is playing in the background, and you got all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I should say at least 24 hours, but I digress.
Okay, so Level Up Expo happening come April, and I'm assuming this is in Vegas.
Yeah, it's in April. It's the weekend of the 26th. It's my birthday.
No way.
It's on my birthday.
No way. I'm about to see if I can
so
get tickets to this thing if you keep this up.
It's great. It's fun. It's worth it. And then we're also going to be doing Salt Lake at Isekai Anime Con, and that's going to be in February, the 9th through the 11th, I think.
Oh my goodness. So I'm sure you're already gearing up for the next one.
Oh yeah, we are. I actually have to book our Airbnb after this. So because we're traveling out of state for it, we end up getting an Airbnb because it's a lot cheaper. Because for 8 of us, it's a lot cheaper than trying to get us into hotel rooms. And just makes our lives easier. So I gotta book that. But it's so much fun. It's worth it. Like these events are exhausting. We work like 18-hour days the entire weekend, and by the end of it, like you need a whole day to recover.
Sure.
I could see that.
So worth it.
Well, so cool. That's so cool. I'm so glad that you're involved in it, and thanks for telling us about it. If you think of anything else for future episodes, please let us know, because we are actually just about out of time. So thanks for everybody who tuned in. Appreciate each and every one of you. Programming note for next week: I have my show, so I will not be here. It's entirely possible it'll be an offline recording, more than likely. So good luck to you guys. I hope everything works out well. If you have anything you want us to talk about, any topics, anything, just email us, ColdReadthePodcast@gmail.com. If not, you can join our Discord. We'd love to have you. We have a good network of people that are willing to help. So come on in, join, and just feel free to say hi. If you have an opportunity, give this video a like or give this podcast a like. It doesn't cost you anything, but it sure helps us out. Even more, if you could give us a comment, tell us where you heard from us or anything that you would like us to talk about, or even just say hi. I would sure appreciate it. If you have audio that you want us to listen to, we love listening to your audio. Just go ahead and either drop it in the Discord or email it to us, and we'd love to give it a listen, and we'll give you some constructive feedback. We've done it to each other. We've grown because of it. So please don't be afraid of us. I heard a snicker, so I'm gonna discount that. So on the 10th will be the next one. Hopefully we'll have that out in a couple of days. And yeah, hope you all have just an awesome week, and look forward to hearing or seeing you all listen to our show. So thanks again. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. And remember to drink your water.
Yeah.
That.
Yes, there it is. And don't drop it.
Oops.
Oops.